train yards, thinking about graveyards. Wonder, Lord, what would they ever write on mine? Another soul laid to rest on cold Montana morning, just trying to make it north of 49.
Well, things are getting busy. I don't know, sometime near the end of April. But still catching a few beavers. I haven't done much recording lately. Got one, I pulled a float already. It's just windy as heck, so there's no point in doing much video outside. But got a call for this lagoon here. I'm gonna go set some traps. I'm gonna take some video. I don't know if the audio will work out, so I might end up putting some music or something over top of it, but I'll try and do some talking while I'm out there. It's just, you can see, it's pretty windy. It's probably 40-kilometer-hour winds and stronger gusts, but I'm gonna set some traps up here, and then I have to go and catch up on skinning. There's about 20 on the floor again from this last week, so and it's farming season, so trying to fit my trapping in around that, and getting lots of nuisance calls here, whether it's skunks or coyotes or fox. Having to turn quite a bit away, but it's the way it goes this time of year. So, but I'll get in here, I'll set some traps up, and maybe I can bring you guys along, and hopefully it works out here with the wind. So we're here at the house, and you can see there's not a whole lot of fresh. Looks like they're just using silt, but you can see the tracks here. They've been up here since it rained in these two spots, so it's gonna be a bugger to get underneath these cattails here, under these bogs. There's another den over here, it looks like, and you can see where that dirt's falling in. There's a wet spot in front of it. I think there's a den there, but I'm gonna have to try and find half a dozen dens around here and set them up. But yeah, well, quick update here. I put a castor mound in over there. You can see where they've been coming underneath the cattails and up on top of the house. I got the front entrance set up here, but I could only find one door. Right here there's a little entrance, but it's like 6 inches deep. I think it's muskrats going in and out. And then where they're coming under the cattails there to come up this way, I've got a trap just underneath there. And then again, they have a den over on this side, so I have a trap set just into there. So that'll do for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 traps, and take a walk around this way, see if we can find any more, and we'll probably set up those two far cutting trails where there's some fresh sign. I'll probably do castor mounds on those, but run back to the truck and grab a few more traps yet. We got this slide set put in. This is their cutting trail right here, going up in the bush. So we've got the conibear just down in there, half set. You can kind of see it's got a little bit of debris and stuff around it. So the triggers are wide enough that the beaver's going to feel comfortable going through there. And it's set high enough up that he's not going to try and go over top. A little bit of blocking sticks around it, and you can see I keep these sticks as low as I can to the trap. That way when this thing fires, hopefully the trap jumps over it. You know, he might pull them and lean them in, but at least he's going to be out here away from the set, and he's not going to mess up this area when he gets caught. And if you can get him far out away from the trap, it's even better, because then the next beaver coming through doesn't really realize there's something going on at this exact spot. He just knows there's a dead beaver 15 feet out there. That's why I run such long cables on most of my traps. But I'll show you that one at the corner there, and then I think we're done. So this cutting trail here, you can see they've been using it. It's nice and slick from them coming up. little bit better of a trail. But again, you see my triggers are pushed out, so the chin is going to come through the middle. There's enough room for the head to go through. He's not pushing on it too hard till it hits his chest. And then the sticks aren't super high. So again, hopefully when he gets caught, he's going to fire out and he's going to end up 10 feet out farther there. So nothing special, but one of my go-to sets for nuisance beaver, especially on the first day or two. Gotta take them out or else there's going to be water on the road, so we'll set one conibear in here and another one on this other dam over here. Now again, if you're trapping roadways like I'm doing here, a little bit different than lots of guys are used to. I talk with the landowners down the road on both sides here. They both know there's traps here. This is a dead end road, nobody comes down here, so I don't have to worry about traps getting stolen, that sort of thing. But my concern is always dogs and children. These guys have older children, they're in their teens, I'm not too worried about them, but their dogs do come down this way, so before I come out here I always get a hold of them and text them or call them and let them know, so they're really good to work with. I guess I'm really lucky I have awesome landowners and reasonable people around this area to work with. Some people don't get that opportunity, so that's why I'm able to set traps as obvious and as simple as I can right along the roads, instead of having to hide them or trying to go into the bush somewhere, keep them underwater all the time. So just something to keep in mind. You know, if you do catch a dog or a kid, it's on the whole trapping community. We're up here on this first dam, and you can see that the county must have blasted this last year, taken it out, I'm not sure. Maybe it washed out on its own. But generally a trap on this spot here is where my hole in the dam usually is. They never fixed it up, but they're crossing over down it. So instead of putting a trap on a crossover here and notching that out, I'm going to put the trap down below and just have it sitting there as a kind of a blind set where they're crossing over. And then I'm going to put a little hole in the dam somewhere over on this side here. So the reason why I'm doing that is kind of, if all of a sudden they find the hole in the dam set, they accidentally, you know, snap it off in their nose and get away, they're going to be wrecked for this set here. I'll never catch them in that again. So if I can set a blind set over here where they're not expecting it, there's no reason for them to suspect that I'm there, it's not something they're used to, I'm likely still going to catch it over there, even if I've educated one here, which generally we're trying not to do, but we're kind of planning ahead doing that. Another thing I see is a caster mount, which I usually don't have on this spot here. I've had a caster mount over there before, where that one is. So if I come back in here and these traps are set off, I'm not catching the conibears, I can always throw, or the body grip, sorry, I can always throw a foothold over in one of those pockets over there, or over on this side, and there should be enough water depth in here to drown them. So kind of good options. This is a gravy spot, and then again there's a dam down there, so I'm going to punch a hole in there, and I don't know whether I'll bother putting a trap. Again, this is quick and simple stuff. So got the conibear sitting there, I have the triggers on top, and you can see the two sticks on either side through the outlet are nice and low. That way that trap can fire off and he can come out and float up over here if he wants. And then for this, I just have the crossover going down. I took some mud and slicked it up so that you can see something's crossing over. And that's naturally how they're going down, but triggers on top. You're probably going to get a suitcase catch out of that, but that's all we're doing for this spot. And I'm going to go down and notch a hole in that dam. I don't think I'll put a trap down there, but I'm going to set one over by where we have the truck parked on the road. I got the last trap in here. I did end up setting a trap on the farther down dam. I said why not, so I took it down there with me. But just a quick look at this one. So I put it out about a foot in front of the dam, but then I took some grass and stuff and put it up beside to blend it in, just so it's less visible from the road. Oh, I just seen a stick. I don't want that stick piling up right there. got just some stuff to block it off a little bit so it's not quite as visible. The other thing I did is I used a Duke trap rather than one of my Blau Super X's or even a Savagel, just because it's a lot shorter. So when that water goes down, it'll stick out maybe 4 inches or so. And the other thing is, I'd rather one of those get stolen, if anything else, than one of my better traps. Again, the sticks on the sides are low, so the trap should fire off and hopefully the beaver ends up out there. There's lots of extra cable here. He's got about 5-6 feet that he can go out that way and tuck under the grass when he gets caught. So again, not as visible from the road. And then if there is a second beaver here, which I don't think, it won't be as smart to where the trap was placed. So that's this location. I think that's it for the day. I'll be out in the tractor right away. I have to see if I need to skin some beavers before I go, but I'll keep you guys in the loop maybe. I'm just doing some skinning here in the garage before I head out to the tractor, but looking at the caster, like here's a big set. You can kind of see that's about average sized. There would be another big set, same with those if they're filled out, but I don't know. Let's grab one that's about average size. So about normal. Now take a look at this. Holy crap. The size of the casters in this thing, and they're mostly filled out. I've seen them fuller than that, but yeah. Like probably 4 times the weight in these things. So not a huge beaver either, good sized one. And it's a male. There's no nipples on it. Big tail. Not huge, but fairly big. But yeah, that's my biggest casters of the year so far. They're probably, well, maybe we'll give them a weigh here really quick, but I'm not even sure what they would weigh. Maybe 1/3 of a pound or close to 1/2 pound at least. So we'll give them a quick weigh here actually, and we'll see. Got our big casters here. I don't even know what to think. I think they're over 1/2 pound. I'm gonna say maybe 0.6 of a pound, 0.7. Let's see what we got here. Oh, not even close. Just under 1/2 pound. Still pretty darn big though. Yeah. Yep, 0.4 of a pound. So I was pretty off on them, but still pretty darn big casters. Glad I got that beaver, because most of these beavers this year haven't been that good. But got a few more beavers here for tomorrow. Other than that one there, they're all wet, so I'm gonna let them dry out for one more day. Well, this is home for the next 5 hours. We got gonna try and get at least 2 fields done here tonight. We got about 6-7 hours I'll go out for. But see, we still have some hydraulic dripping here. Give this a check over and fire it up, and away we go. Well guys, we're getting to the end of the night here. We're probably got another 40 minutes of harrowing before it starts getting wiry. But yeah, this will be my kind of my life here for the next probably week, and then it'll be into the cedar and helping out hauling fertilizer and seed around. There's a fire going here. One of the neighbors up the road, it looks like their yard's on fire. I saw the trucks went by here already, so sorry, let's turn in the corner there. But got the GPS set, and the sun's going down. And yeah, if you guys like the content you're seeing, or if you want to see some more farm stuff that we're doing, let me know. If you have any questions about any ideas, if you want to see stuff, skinning, trapping, hunting, fishing, or farming here, let me know in the comments there. And yeah, I really appreciate you guys following along. light